Alright, welcome everybody to your VOD review video. So, as usual, with all games of League of Legends that I VOD review, before the game even starts, when draft is finished, I like to go through and we just look at the team comps and we identify what their team's win cons are, what our team's win cons are, how we need to be playing around the map, what we should be looking for our tempo, and what objectives we need to focus. So, right off the bat, if you guys were here, I would ask you guys which one or which pairing of these 5 champions do you think is going to be their win con? So, obviously, it's going to be either Twitch or Victor, because Victor's basically solo AP. Yes, Ornn is magic, yes, Lulu's magic, but he's kind of the big ticket damage dealer. So, we need to be prioritizing these 2 champions with a majority of our jungle gameplay. So a majority of our ganks should be focused around mid or primarily bot. So post 6, Olaf is going to have a pretty free time ganking this lane, especially since it's easy for Jinx to manipulate the wave, right? She can turn off rockets, she can last hit relatively safely against these 2 champions, whereas Twitch using his W to pressure you off the wave, he's going to be shoving. Lulu using her Q through the wave, she's going to be shoving. So bot lane should be free ganks. Top lane could also be free ganks if we wanted to spend a little bit of time into our Shen to make sure that he can snowball this lane. And I think Olaf just has a straight up winning matchup against Xin Zhao anyways. So with that being said, with either of these 2 champions, whichever one gets fed is definitely going to be our biggest priority. But before we go into the video, I wanted to look at your guys' draft for a bit. So we are red side, they're blue side. So they first pick Ornn, right? Which is kind of a big mistake. And then you guys decided to immediately, right off the bat, draft Olaf and Shen. So drafting Olaf and Shen, like at your guys' gold level, isn't inherently bad. My problem with drafting Olaf and Shen is it forces you into a dedicated team comp, right? These 2 champions say, we want to go in. We're playing Rushdown, we're playing Dive, we want to get on your carries, and we want to basically just win fights early, right? If this team comp gets past 25-30 minutes, you guys are going to have a rough time. Also, for the note, this ban is Nami, according to this. Kha'Zix is Soraka, and Aphelios is Jinx, so Olaf and Shen, right? They respond with Lulu's and Xiao. So we want champions that fit our team identity. So Olaf and Shen, they obviously go in. Shen can ult Olaf. Olaf runs at their team. There's not much these people can really do about it from what we've seen, because all we've seen at this point is Ornn, right? And then they lock in Lulu's and Xiao, which Olaf doesn't really care about. So this 3rd pick right here, we drafted Soraka. So my problem with Soraka is, yes, Soraka can help Olaf, but Soraka doesn't really match the team identity. Soraka doesn't really help this champion specifically getting into their backline. So there's a couple other champions we could have drafted here. One big primary one that synergizes really well with our team comp. So when thinking about this draft, right, there are plenty of supports that can help your team go in. You could draft Rakan, you could draft Janna, you could draft Nautilus, you could draft Leona. I mean, you could even go Pyke if you really wanted to. Like, there's a lot of different supports that can fill this role. There's a lot of different mid laners that can fill this role. You could play Azir and shuffle into their team. You could play, Lissandra, dive into their backline. You could play Galio and ult on top of the Olaf. There's lots of champions that could fit this role. However, there's only one ADC that's meta relevant that fits this role the best, and that's Sivir. So they banned Nami right here, which leaves Sivir open. So in reality, we should have been picking Sivir in with one of these first 2 picks because they didn't take it, right? Sivir is relatively pick ban in this meta. They still don't draft Sivir. They go Lulu's and Xiao. So the only R3 pick here that makes any sense in my mind is Sivir. Well, Sivir gets banned away because you guys didn't draft it. So we don't really have much of an option on that front. So we have to pick something else that can kind of help with that team identity. You guys go with Jinx. Like, Jinx is okay, I guess. Not really, make or break it, but it would have been really nice to have Sivir here. So they banned Sivir, they banned Pantheon. I don't know why they banned Pantheon. We already have Olaf. Regardless, so then we R4 our ADC, which is Jinx, sure, whatever, Jinx, Soraka. I mean, if that's what you're comfortable playing, you can play the Jinx. It's not that big of a deal. They then go Viktor Twitch. Okay, so we see Viktor, so we know we want a mid laner that works with our team identity, right, of going in, enabling. Well, Galio has a pretty good matchup into Viktor. Azir also has a very good matchup into Viktor. Ahri has a phenomenal matchup into Viktor, but Ahri's banned. So you draft Swain. I'm assuming it's based off of your champion pool and your comfortability on the champion. I don't think Swain particularly has a good matchup into Viktor. I think it's very Viktor favored. But Swain, like, short range, long range, like, he also doesn't really fit with your team's identity. But it's not like an awful pick, right? He can still provide value, just not as much as, other champions. Hell, even like a Diana in this slot wouldn't have been awful. Diana has a good matchup into Viktor. She works with the team dive comp, so those are just some thoughts about your guys' draft and how you can improve it in the future. So going back into here. So we've already identified that our goal is to run at them, basically. So we want to be playing around that playstyle. And we also need to understand that we have Olaf. Olaf is one of the strongest champions in the game up until about 3 items. So there's no real reason why we shouldn't have priority on these early objectives. Twitch Lulu needs time to scale. Viktor needs time to get his passive up. Yes, Xin Shao's an early game jungler, but, I don't think Xin Shao really is going to stop Olaf from doing what Olaf wants to do pre-6. And even post-6, I think Olaf is still favored in the matchup. And we can always have Shen emergency ult post-6, and we always have Soraka emergency ult post-6. So we actually have a lot of global presence. Let me switch over to red side really quick. We'll just ×4 this until something interesting happens. So let's take a gander up here. Okay. So already, one thing I'm noticing is it's 250, which is a relatively common gank timing for junglers, right? We have the shove on the wave. Once we clear this melee minion right here, it's going to take a long time for these minions to kill this cannon. So we have an opportunity to go down here and place our ward. So we can track Xin Shao and understand where he's trying to gank us from. So the fact that you don't ward here is kind of a big mistake. Right now, you need to immediately go and place your ward. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it. Yeah, like, even if you don't want to commit all the way out because you're going to lose the cannon, like, even dropping the ward right there isn't that bad. Right? You've got a big wave stacking, you're safe. So you really should have dropped a ward there. Anyways. You get the cannon. Nice job. Okay, so he's used his pillar, which has his slow. It's his best get off me tool. And he only has 1 minion that's at low health. And he's got a level disadvantage. So you, like, I'm kind of nitpicking, but it's been like 3 to 4 seconds and you haven't really tried to trade into this Ornn yet. And I feel like that's something that you really could be doing. Trying to apply more pressure, make Ornn farm under tower, forces in Shao to come up to you while you have an Olaf nearby. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can create pressure and get equity by being a little bit more aggressive in your laning phase. So I know you're going for it right here. My point is that could have been a couple seconds earlier because now the wave is matching and you have to stick around for it. Okay, so Xin Shao's there. You have no idea because you didn't drop the ward. He gets the flash. So you die, you burn flash, you both burn flashes, it's shoving into him. Olaf is true full clearing. I feel like tempo-based, I probably would have skipped Krugs and gone down to Raptors to try and match Xin Shao on it, but you are just trying to power farm, which I guess isn't inherently wrong. But with your mid laner having priority, I feel like it would have been a good opportunity to bully him off of this Skull Crab. Assuming he started bot. Most people at this elo just start bot. Nice lane gank. Yeah, he has no flash. Yeah, certain death. Nice job. Very good job. Okay. So, there's something about this. Before, I could go back 3 seconds if you really wanted to. Lulu was over here, Twitch was over here. So when an enchanter, specifically, is separated from her ADC, it's really difficult for Lulu to gain access into this fight, right? If Lulu's back here, she's going to get creep blocked. She has to walk through. Yes, she can cast her things on Twitch, but it's like she's not really going to be outvaluing two champions that are close together. So my big problem is we actually are going to go back 15 seconds. Watch it on ×2. So you see Twitch gaining priority here. Right here, you need to switch to minigun, and you need to drop your traps on him. Right? Lulu can go in on you, yes. Is this spectator bugs? Yes. Okay, so heal's actually down for them. They don't have heal. And you guys have both some. So yeah, there's no reason why you guys don't just turn on this Twitch right here. You guys win this pretty one-handedly. Especially, like, if you go on miniguns, like, look at their HP. Imagine if you were on minigun here. Like, you probably get a double. Regardless. Mid has no priority, which is okay, because it's pushback. This is all well and dandy. Wow. Wow. Okay. I guess that's not the worst thing, because you did trade and you got a sum for it. So the problem with that is the minion wave was way too big, and you were taking a lot of minion damage. I feel like it would have been smarter just to try and let the wave collapse while you were in this bush. Hopefully you weren't spotted. I'm not sure. If you were spotted, then going for the play is whatever. But the thing is, you kill trade with a Twitch, which is kind of not good, because Twitch is, again, one of their late game win conditions, and giving him gold is less than ideal. We really want to be avoiding getting Twitch gold, because this is going to enable him into his mid-game power spikes, which we want to avoid. Nice. Okay, you re-gank to make up your mistake. Nice job, Olaf. Alright, we go straight for Dragon. Big fan of that. Okay, let's take a look, because this is... We really shouldn't be getting bullied off of dragons when their ADC is dead. Okay, Soraka very low. Victor's rotating down. Why don't you have teleport? Let's take a gander. Also, note for people watching, this is my first time watching this, so there's a lot of things like this where I didn't see him teleport, because it's my first time watching the replay. Where do you teleport? So you just teleported after your reset. You didn't buy a tier. That is a big mistake. We kind of want tier on very mana-hungry champions like Swain. I'm okay with not taking Conqueror. Okay, yeah, Victor ult. It's invisible because spectator bug. Yeah, you're kind of shoved off. And then Olaf goes bot here. Okay. So you're forced to recall. I see. Got it. Yeah, so he's playing to the strong side, though. He's scaling the Jinx. He's keeping the Twitch behind. You're doing a very good job, Olaf. But because your mid laner had to back and has no priority, this is a bit risky, right? This is very risky, especially with no vision on their top side. I see Olaf is, you know, actively popping this Scryer's Bloom. Olaf. Xin Shao is actively popping this Scryer's Bloom, so we kind of know where he is. It could possibly be Orange. Shen would have to communicate that to you. But without vision up here, and Victor having hella priority over our Swain, it's kind of a very risky play to go for this dragon. I think it would be smarter to go to your spawning blue buff, your wolves, maybe even do your top side if you're feeling a bit greedy, recall, and then either regank or then take the dragon, and it should be free. So let's see how this plays out. Because, like, our HPs are very low, Soraka cannot help, Swain is under tower. There's Xin Shao, we just barely saw him on the minimap. He crossed right here. Where's Twitch? How does Jinx die here? Recalling in a bush. Okay. Where did you think he was going to go? Twitch is obviously rotating up to the dragon because we saw Xin Shao. It was much smarter to just leave with your Olaf, because it's safe to assume from back here that company's going to be coming, right? And when your HP is that low, you really need to be taking a safer back than that. So just an easy reminder that when an objective's up and you guys aren't actively taking it, you have to play a bit more passively. Okay, Swain's rotating down. We have our Soraka. Heal that man up. Nice. Nice. Where's Twitch? Where's Twitch? Where's Twitch? Okay, let's watch this in point. In normal speed. Okay, we have a level advantage on Lulu. That's good. We have some advantage. Nice. Go on Xin Shao. Shen ult. Nice, nice. Great. Yeah, you guys just cleaned this. Good job. Yeah, very good awareness from Shen to ult in there, but... Whoa! Okay. So, side note, Olaf player Woofy asked me to take a look at this play very specifically, so I'm going to take a little bit of time and break this one down. You're caught on a ward. They know you're here, you're caught on a ward. You're still going for it. Okay, that's ambitious. Okay. So this is a pitfall of a lot of lower level junglers. So let's take a look at the situation first. So right here, what are you doing topside, Olaf? What is your primary objective in going for this play? Right? Because obviously you're not really going to be able to tower dive in Orin. Right? That's kind of a death sentence. He's just going to kill both of you if you go under his tower. Right? Well, mid's at an equal wave state. Victor doesn't have his first upgrade, so he's going to have a difficult time shoving. Swain Q provides a lot more value in shoving wave because of how much shorter of a cooldown is. So the only reason why Olaf would be top at this exact moment in time would be to make a Rift Herald play. Right? So we need to be objective focused with our team comp, right? We need to remember they outscale us. So we need to snowball this game, and we need to snowball it relatively quickly, otherwise things are going to get out of hand. So with that in mind, which we already knew that we needed to be objective focused this game, we can't hunt kills. We already know that from how I went over our team comps and how they interact with one another. They outscale us. But we have early game tempo, and you are very enabled right now as Olaf. You're 3-1-3 compared to 1-1 and 0-0-0-0. So kills on this top half of the map is 4, 5, 5, 7. So 5 kills and 7 assists compared to 1 kill and 1 assist. You guys have a lot more equity on the top half of the map. So that being said, how does this result in them double killing you? Well, there's a couple things that factor into this. You blew your sweeper a little bit too early. So you pop it back here when in reality, if you're walking through the bush, if you pop it right here or so, the sweeper is still going to catch the bush, right? So you can tell if that was warded or not when you walked through it. So you would see if that was warded, you'd know that it wasn't, right? And then you'd walk down here, you'd see that it wasn't. And then you'd clip right around here, and you'd still have enough time on your sweeper. You still have enough time on your sweeper to clear this ward. So clearing this ward is very important because fundamentally, the reason why we're here is to take the Rift Herald, not anything else, right? That's what we need to be aware of. That's what I need to teach you at this moment, is that we are here for the Rift Herald. We're not here for Xin Zhao. We're not here for Olaf. We're not here for Victor. We're here for the Rift Herald. So all actions, all statements need to be oriented around the Rift Herald. I'm a big advocate and a big fan of the teaching method that League of Legends is like a conversation, or lots of video games are like a conversation, and everything you do is making a statement or an argument to the enemy team. So if we take a look at this play, right, you obviously are aware of the fact that if Xin Zhao face checks you, you will beat the tar out of him, which is 100% correct. There ain't no way this man's is going to beat you in a 1v1. And you're correct, right? So you're coming over here for an invade because you're aware of the fact that you beat Xin Zhao in a 1v1. Xin Zhao's kind of a bad player for coming here because you were literally caught on a ward and you saw the ward, so you know that he knows that you're here, if that makes sense. So what kind of a statement does a play like this make, right? You're saying that if you're on this Gromp, I am going to kill you. That's the statement that you're making, right? Obviously, that's the play that you're going for. You're not here to only hurt the Gromp and not him. You're here to kill him, right? Well, what answers can he have to that statement? Well, his answers are, if you come kill me on this Gromp, I'm going to back off to my tower and survive, or I'm going to escape at some point, right? That's basically the retorting statement that he has. So is there any way, if you want to pause the video, Olaf, and ask yourself, is there any way that we could make a statement that he has no answer to, right? Because that's our goal, right? We want to make the most powerful argument, most powerful statement that we possibly can, and do not give them an option to respond to it, right? You have top priority. You are incredibly far ahead, right? So what statement could be made that Xin Zhao can't respond to? Well, there's one statement that we can make that has best of both worlds, which is getting the Rift Herald and killing Xin Zhao at the same time. Do you know what it would be? It's just go to the Rift Herald, right? If you make the statement of going to the Rift Herald, what does that say to him? This is saying to him, you have to come and stop me from taking this Rift Herald, or I'm going to get this Rift Herald for free, get 300 local gold, maybe even a full tower, because I'm fed enough as Olaf that I can tower dive bot lane or mid lane, right? And I'm going to blow this game wide open, and it's going to be done before you even get to your first completed item. That's the statement that you're making. Well, what response can Xin Zhao have to him? Well, I'm going to come and stop you on this Rift Herald. Is that a true statement? Can he stop you on the Rift Herald? Well, Shen has priority. Shen is a much more valuable champion than Ornn at this stage of the game. He doesn't beat you in a 1v1, right? The only thing that could possibly help him with that is Viktor, right? And from what we know from before, Viktor obviously rotates up and double kills you. So we have to take a look at our mid lane priority. Like I said, Viktor versus Swain is kind of Viktor favored. Viktor has a lot more range than Swain. It's difficult for Swain to do whatever he wants in this lane. Viktor kind of runs it. So it's getting shoved into Swain. Swain's at an HP disadvantage. Swain can't rotate, right? If we just want to watch this from a mid lane perspective, right? What's Swain going to do here? Swain can't face check this. Because if I'm playing Viktor in this situation, right, I know that there's no way that these two people die, right? They're already at their tower. So I just have to wait for them to either overcommit to the play, and then I can run up and double kill them, or I can just sit right here and make this statement to Swain that if you ever rotate to this play, you're going to step in this bush, I'm going to ult you, and you're going to die in one shot. And there's no answer that you have to that. So Swain cannot rotate. Swain can't even really go ward without putting himself at immediate danger. So obviously, you guys get double killed because Viktor sees that you overcommit to the play, you take too much tower damage. Swain's kind of sitting here awkward with his pants down. There's not much he can go. You guys even get triple killed. So now all of our mid-game momentum that we, up until this point, that we've been building up for, just went down the toilet. All of this could have been avoided if Olaf just went to the Rift Herald, right? There's absolutely no response that any of these three, like, even if Viktor rotates up, well, if Viktor rotates up, Olaf can see him coming, Swain is now actually capable of rotating up, and y'all definitely win a 3v3, because now Swain's ulti is proccing off of melee Xin Zhao, melee Ornn, and ideally he's going to be rooting and messing up this Viktor. So they can't respond to you guys in this 3v3. That should be blatantly apparent just looking at the scoreboard, you know, from a minute ago, but such is life. So that's kind of how we blunder this early game, because we're going into this game 10.5 minutes, and they're ahead on gold by 100. It's not completely out of the woods, because again, this is gold plat elo, and people make mistakes, so it's not unwinnable for you guys, but we definitely could be in a much stronger position. So I'm probably just going to go and take a look at how we are playing our team fights. Because at this point in time, right, if we just want to look at the scoreboard, which one of these two champions is looking like it's going to be their primary win con? Well, Viktor is relatively, like I said, solo AP damage, right? I mean, you guys should still be building Merc Treads anyways. Like, Olaf shouldn't really be going Merc Treads because of his ult, obviously, but... So, Viktor's win con, right? So we need to be orienting ourselves in team fights with the mindset of stopping Viktor from doing Viktor things. Okay, so what are Viktor things? Well, Viktor has a really good job at stopping people from getting access into rivers around objectives. He's got large AoE damage, and he has a decent amount of burst with First Strike. So when we're taking our engagements with Viktor, we need to make sure, because we're red side, that we do not go through here, and we do not go through here. That is our main objective for team fighting, right? When those two things, sorry, I can't think of the word. When those two things aren't happening, right, if we're not going through either of these choke points, we're going to have a much better time team fighting them. It's basically the point that I'm getting at. Going for a gank around the dragon, sure. Nice job, Olaf. You are running this. Oh, kill that man. Okay, no. Okay, that's a bit ambitious. Okay, so when the first cleaver misses, or the first axe, whatever it is you want to call it, when that one right there gets sidestepped, I'd say anything past this point to pick, like, you can pick up the axe and walk away, but anything beyond that is an overextension. You don't have flash, you don't have ult. So if you get CC'd, you're kind of on your own. No one can really back you up. Like, Shen's dead. I know he's respawning and he has ult. If we just want to... He has ult. You have Soraka ult. You don't have Soraka ult. So you only really have Shen ult to bail you out, which is a bit ambitious because we don't have vision of Twitch and we don't have vision of Xin Zhao. Well, where do you think Twitch is? Right? Do ADCs just let their opposing ADCs free push waves into their tower? No. If Twitch was bot, Twitch would be bot, right? He'd be contesting Jinx on farm. Or at least attempting to, right? The fact that he's not here actively on vision is enough indication for you that he's coming, right? And an identical concept to what we just barely talked about over here with this play, we need to be objective focused, right? Victor's low. Your Swain is full health. Your Jinx is full health. Their Lulu is dead. You beat Xin Zhao in the 1v1. You have Soraka healing. They have to come to you, otherwise you get the dragon. Right? So anything beyond here is stupid, honestly. Because Xin Zhao could be right in this bush. Twitch could be right in this bush. Victor is W's on cooldown, but I mean, maybe we actually just use that. So we know Victor W's on cooldown. Anyways, regardless, I'm pretty sure if you face check through this, and Twitch Zen are right there, and Twitch just pops ulti. I don't know if he actually has it because of spectator bugs. But if they're both in this bush, it's a very high chance that you just get nuked. And we don't want to risk that. Okay, Twitch is there. He had ulti. What do you know? Okay, Gore Drinker is very balanced. Xin Zhao's there. Okay, you guys get the kill. But, again, it's like, that play could have gone very wrong. If Xin Zhao was not on his red and was in that bush, I bet you money you get nuked and you die there, and then they get the dragon. They're still ahead on gold, and they outscale. So, we don't really want to be taking risks like that. So we really should just, kind of like a similar statement to this, if we just go to the dragon, it forces them to come to us. Odds are we get the dragon anyways, and they're going to overcommit to maybe try and stop it from happening, and then we get kills that way. Does that make sense? So we can kind of have a best of both worlds scenario where we can kill them and apply pressure and get the dragon at the same time just by going to the objective. Alright, this is all fine. Ambitious. Go for Twitch. Oh, that works too. Nice. You are cracked out your mind, Olaf. Nice job. Okay, so let's start seeing where you guys lose this game. Because I do know that you guys lose this game. It's 9-11. We're up 2 dragons, and you have an 8 and 2 Olaf. Like, okay, wow. Don't do that, please. You really only should be going Tiamat after you finish your mythic item, because now you're 15.5 minutes into the game with no mythic. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Alright, so the whole team is... Let's go back even a little bit further. There we go. Alright, Rift Herald, nice. Being grouped together at this stage of the game is fine. This is really good. I feel like... Yeah, he has TP, so he's just splitting bot. They're going down here to collect Dragon Vision. This is all acceptable. Victor is being... Oh, no, no, no. Hook that man. Swain. Press E. No, Swain. Okay, let's... Okay, so Swain, you need to be aware of the fact that you guys are all grouped as 5. Ornn's bot, and their win con just face check to bush, right? You need to press E on him immediately. You are going to have so much follow-up if he continues with this play. Like, we can't really let this big of an overextension go unpunished. Ornn is still bot here, right? So even if he does TP to the fight, which he's capable of doing, it's going to take him too much time before Victor essentially gets nuked, right? Jinx can rocket, Jinx can trap, you root, Olaf just runs at him, he kind of just explodes, right? So you're playing way too passively for essentially no reason there. You kind of have to be a little bit more dominant with what you have in your kit, you know? Okay. Let's zoom out a bit. We're shoving mid-wave. Soraka's getting a bit poked. It's a little unnecessary. Alright, we see that there's 3 of them there. How do we get access into this river? Because they're here first now, but we have basically a stronger 5v5 at this exact moment in time. Twitch is not really online. He's got Bork boots, like with Lulu, like he's kind of online, like Ornn's also kind of a big deal, but it's like you're 8 and 2 on Olaf with 2 completed items at 19 minutes, right? With Shen ult. Okay, not with Shen ult. Not with... Okay. I mean, still. Like, the point still kind of stands that I'm fairly confident you guys win a 5v5 right now, even without those ultimate abilities, because in these corridors like this, these corridors, that's where Swain really thrives. That's where Jinx really thrives, because she can throw down traps, she can throw down W, she has lots of AoE, she can really manipulate these team fights. So, you coming over here, like, I guess you're just popping the Scryer's Bloom, which is fine, but as we've already established... Okay, so this is a mistake. As we've already established, we can't do choke points versus Victor. That's a big no-no. Because, yeah, you as Olaf are capable of getting through here. Shen, if he has ult up, is capable of getting through here. But no one else on your team is really going to be able to get through a Victor W or a Victor ult in this choke point. So, just by looking at this positioning, like, yeah, in Ornn ulti too. Like, wow, that's a 4-man Ornn ult that we just gave to him for free. When in reality, we knew they were here. Right, Olaf has R. We can just run through here, it's fine. Like, Soraka is there to back you up. She'll be pressing W on you pretty frequently, so you'll be okay. Especially when Victor was up there trying to poke. Like, you land one axe on that dude, and he's got a bow flash instantly. Right? So going through this choke, like, immediately, you see how overextended you are in comparison to the rest of the team? If they go through here, they just get Ornn knocked up into Ornn ulti and Victor drops his W. No one else can get to you in this team fight. Right? So that's why I feel like we had to go into this river area. It's also a little bit awkward talking to myself, so if I repeat phrases or statements, because I'm usually used to people asking questions, but such is life. Okay, we get a tower here. What is that man's doing? Okay. You know, whatever. Just looks like he overextended and you guys punished. Nice. Swain matching Ornn, I'm actually okay with that. Shen needs to go top here, though. Frostfire. Do I like Frostfire here? No, I don't think I do, actually. Because I feel like you're going to be getting bomb carried by Olaf right onto their 2 carries anyways, and then you're just going to taunt them, and then realistically their tanks are going to come back to try and deal with you, because Xin Zhao and Ornn aren't really going to beat these 3 pairings in a 3v2. Right, so these tanks are going to peel back to try and stop Olaf from getting onto their carry. So I feel like a majority of the time, Shen, the people you're going to be hitting, assuming you don't get a taunt onto one of these 2 people, it's going to be Xin and Olaf, right? These people don't really want to run away from you, right? So I feel like you actually could get more value out of a Sunfire Cape here in comparison to a Frostfire Gauntlet. But anyways, just a little bit of a nitpick. Oops, sorry, I meant to do that. Nice. So this is a really good pressure play. I like this. Because you've got, ideally, okay, you've got Shen TP, that's something, I guess. Going for a play like this with Shen ult, 100% okay, right? Because it's forcing them into a fight, right? This is kind of one of those statement things. You're making a statement, you have to come and stop me from taking this tower, otherwise I'm going to get gold, basically. They don't want that to happen, so they're coming here to fight you. Because they legitimately believe they win this. Right, and they almost did, which is kind of indicative that Olaf is getting close to his falling off point. Right, but oh no, what did you just do there, dude? I feel like I'm kind of commentating this one from the Olaf's perspective, but you are kind of the one running the show at the moment. Okay, right there, I feel like you needed to go to kill the Lulu. I feel like Lulu's just kind of free there. Like, Soraka has Q, Soraka's maxing W. Like, you're fine, dude. And she's 1 auto attack, you pick up the Q, it's going to immediately reset it, right? And then you just cleaver her, and then you get full reset off of your Death Stance. Like, you're fine. He's got no mana. Just go kill the Lulu. So, a minor mistake. Yeah, literally 1 auto attack and she dies. Does she die anyways? Probably? Probably. Nope! Lulu things. Oh, geez Louise. Nice. Don't shoot. No, dude. You are out. You are out. Yeah, you can't do that. So this is one of those things where it's like, it's just unnecessary, right? Like, she got slowed by the Soraka. I'm assuming Swain's TPing. Swain's TPing right there. Spectator bug, it doesn't show up. You're probably calling for Swain TP, assuming that you win this. But with Twitch ulti, you that low, Soraka running low on mana, like all your globals are down, you don't really win that. But the point is, it's kind of unnecessary. Because it just doesn't have to happen, right? We're trying to be objective focused. We can just take this tower gold, take this kill gold, and rotate it into a Baron play, right? Jinx is pressuring mid. She's doing what she should be doing. Getting gold, getting value, trying to take herself into the late game. So going for a play like this, all you end up doing, like, it's high risk, high reward, and it just isn't necessary. Because yes, you kill traded 1 for 2, but at the same time, you gave your shutdown to Twitch, which is one of their 2 main win cons. We want to avoid that. What are you doing, dude? Oh, Lord. Yeah. I feel like this is kind of a reoccurring theme. We're just too ambitious, right? We're too hasty when it comes to plays like this. In reality, we need to be comfortable just walking away and setting up a Baron play. Because that's something that can happen at this point in time. But now they've got 5 and 2 Victor, you know, 2.5 items. Gonna be 3 after those kills, right? They have Ornn items coming in soon. Like, we need to end this game and end it quickly, which means we need Soul Point and we need Baron, which means going for anything like this. Like, what are we fighting over? Right? What are we fighting over at this exact moment in time? We're fighting over nothing. We're just fighting for the sake of fighting. When we had 2 different opportunities where we could have just walked away for free. Jinx. You're going for rapid fire cannon here. I don't think it's your job to go for Twitch and Victor here. Because again, you're going to have to go through Victor W. You're going to have to go through Ornn R. There's a lot of things that are going to inhibit you from getting in to Twitch and Victor. It's Olaf's job to go on to Twitch and Victor, not yours here. So I feel like a Lord Dominik's regard, maybe low-key, crucify me for saying this, Stormrazor, but Lord Dom would have been better options for this item slot, because I feel like a lot of the time you're just going to be hitting him, and you're going to be hitting him. And those items are infinitely more valuable at chewing through that armor. Also, quick note, Dead Man's Plate, very nice on Olaf, but I feel like at this point in time, Magic Dealer is fed, Magic Dealer is fed. I feel like a magic resist item in this slot would have been more helpful. I think like a Spirit Visage, or maybe even a Force of Nature, would have been really good here. Also, please, for the love of God, at 24 minutes into the game, don't have a refillable potion. You can sell that and get a pink ward for free, basically. A lot more valuable than 200 HP on an Olaf, right? It doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's see our team fighting again. Oops. Alright. Oh, dude. That's a bit deep. What is happening? Okay. Yeah. So let's see what leads up to this that has you so low. Okay, you see Olaf. I mean, Ornn. Jeez Louise, I'm gonna mess that up every time, aren't I? You see Victor? Yeah, just walk away. Nice. Okay, Shen. No need to be getting... No. Okay, dude. Right, so, objective-focused gameplay. I'm gonna say this for, like, the 5th time in this video, right? You got your trade, whatever, it's fine. Victor is shoving in. You think you win 2v1 Olaf Victor with 0 eyes on Twitch, 0 eyes on Xin Zhao, 0 eyes on Lulu? For all you know, you could be blast coning into 4 people. Right? You legitimately have 0 idea. Right? So this is kind of an enormous no-no. There's no reason why we can't let Shen take a back right here and then ult in on top of you. Right? There's no reason we can't wait 10 or 15 seconds to let Soraka and Jinx get here so we can help with this team fight. This is just so way too ambitious. Yeah, and sure enough, there he is. Now you have no ulti, no Soraka ult. Like, Swain has to overextend. Twitch just kills y'all. Yeah. It was kind of a big deal. Big unnecessary deal. And true to League of Legends form, the replay is starting to stutter and skip, so I'm going to try and end this one quickly. We'll take a look at the last team fight, where it seems like things go relatively even. Nope, they just overextend into you guys. Yeah, you like how this replay's starting to stutter for literally no reason. Great. Let's take a look at the final dragon. this is unwatchable. Well, sorry about that. If we want to, we can probably just reload it. But yeah, you guys are kind of getting the point that when we're playing a rushdown objective-focused comp, we actually have to be objective-focused. Otherwise, we're going to be kill trading, which is something we really want to avoid with our champions. Is this the dragon? There's the dragon. We'll take a look at this really quick. Red side only. Okay. So they're very far up. Lots of choke points that we don't really want to be playing around. Shen is splitting, that's fine. You'd be doing a lot more damage if you had a Lord Dominik's Regard, like I said. Swain has no ulti. Like, honestly, at this point in time, like, you guys are chunked. He doesn't have ult. There's not really... They're here first. Like, we've already established we can't contest choke points versus Viktor. At this point in time, at lower level gameplays, this is my advice to you guys. For lower level games like this, a lot of the times, people only ever ward one side of the map. Right? I bet you money they don't have Baron Vision right now. Yep. They have a ward here. They have a ward here. They have a ward here, ward here, ward here, ward here, ward here. Look at the top side of the map. They've got one pink ward here. Right? I feel like we could have just recalled left to our top side. Shen is literally already up here. Swain's already recalling. He has teleport. 2 wards right there. Honestly, Shen and Swain, depending on Swain's itemization... no, you guys can't duo it. It would take too long. But, like, they could TP. Swain could back TP. You guys rotate up. They could get it started. By the time you guys get there, this would be, you know, maybe here on the HP bar. And then you guys can nuke it. Right? Like, you have a 12 kill Olaf. You guys are going to kill this thing hella fast. Right? There's no need to contest an objective that we're not going to get. Right? My background is in StarCraft, right? Because I teach and was a pro in StarCraft. And there's a saying in StarCraft, if you can't kill a base, don't try to kill a base. Because all you're going to do is just lose your army. Conversely, if you can't take the dragon, you can't get through the choke point, it's not going to happen. Don't try to go through the choke point. You guys are just going to die if that happens. So in these situations, like I said, lower level players only have vision on one side of the map majority of the time. We don't have vision. We don't have priority. We've got one pink ward. That's not enough. We can't go through choke points versus Viktor Ornn. It's not possible. Twitch spray and pray does splash damage, right? We can't get through here. It's not possible. I would say, because they are up 5k gold, right? They do outscale us. They're getting soul point. We need to make a miracle happen, right? So I feel like this is a Baron flip call, where we don't really have many other options. We need to go to the Baron and make something happen, right? Otherwise, we're equivalently just surrendering, because we're just rolling over and dying. What are we going to do? We're not going to be able to contest them in a 5v5 real soon, right? Our window of opportunity has passed. They're going to start beating us in team fights pretty handedly. We need a big boost in gold to get us into this late game, and hopefully we can win. I feel like that's Baron. So, is this even worth watching? We give up the dragon. Yeah, they just kind of, again, fighting in a choke point. It's a shocker that they win. So yeah, I feel like those are a lot of the good points that we could go over. So, a lot of this was boiling down through the jungle. So I feel like, for the jungle perspective, be a lot more objective-oriented, less kill hunting. Be aware of your mid laners' wave states when you go to rotate. For ADCs, I feel like you could be a little bit more aggressive in lane. There was that opportunity where Twitch kind of stepped up and you just let him go unpunished. Mid laner, like, it's not necessarily quote-unquote your fault for losing this matchup, because it is a losing matchup, but you need to be a lot more decisive when opponents overextend into you, because you are the primary form of CC for your team, right? You've got the long-ranged route, you've got the stun, you've got your W. Swain's got the tools to stop them from stepping into us, right? Ideally, you know, Galio or someone like that could do that job more efficiently, but such is life. Drafts are as drafts do. Top lane, your build is like Titanic second here. When you got the Titanic second is okay, but going Tiamat before Mythic is kind of a big no-no, in my opinion. Because it's not your objective to shove the wave into Ornn and let him sit there and free farm under tower all game long. It's your job to provide value on ultis across the map, which means you need CDR, you need armor, you need all those sort of things that help you with the tank stats, not necessarily damage. You have an Olaf, your team has enough damage. Also, in matchups where you bully, be a lot more bully-y, if that makes sense, if that's not convoluted enough for you. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I understand this was a lot less specific on each individual role. This was kind of an overall theme, and a lot of it was from jungle perspective. But if I was to go through this replay from every single lane perspective, it would take me like 4.5 hours. So if you guys want like specifics of your laning phase, I can definitely give that to you. You just need to let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Have a good one.